Hello and good morning. Welcome to the Morning Metaphysical Report. Today is January 24th, 2020, and my name is Lysander Xanthus.
And I am the magical voice in the background known as the Kitchen Witch.
So, welcome. Today we'll be sharing with you the day's astrology, numerology, and other helpful information that you can use in your spiritual practice. We will also be doing a grounding, healing, and protection to enable your daily transformation and growth on your path. So we are actually going to begin with the grounding and energy clearing. This is something that's important to do every day for the health of your aura and for continuous improvement. So wherever you are, whatever you're doing, imagine yourself inside of a sphere or a bubble. At the bottom of this sphere, imagine gently attached is a pipe or roots or any other long object stretching deep into the earth. Now, for simplicity's sake, imagine that your bubble is filled with a dark colored energy. We're going to drain this energy out of our sphere. We're going to watch the level lower, just like as if it were water draining out. So just breathe through it and imagine or intend this dark colored energy draining out through the bottom of your aura. We release all foreign energy, all energy that is not serving our highest good, all energy that does not belong to us, all energy that is not serving our true will. All attachments and blocks we are willing to release at this time. We release from every layer of our aura, from every chakra and throughout every cell in our body. Continue to watch the energy drain out. And as the last of it drains out through the bottom, imagine the drain closing and the pipe or roots or whatever gently curling away from you and into the earth and just dissipating. Great, we have grounded.
Fantastic.
So now it is time to do just a little clearing using the singing bowl. I like singing bowls because they have a way of just kind of like melting energy off of you. So this one has quite a high pitch, so we're just going to play it a little bit. Also to kind of awaken or jolt the energy while we're at the beginning of our day.
Gotcha, let's go.
All right, so now let us talk about our astrology for the day.
Before that, I want to say a happy lunar imbolc to all of our Wiccan and pagan friends who celebrate that. For those of you who don't know, the lunar imbolc is a moon phase known as the balsamic or dark moon, and it is kind of like a midwinter lunar celebration. So I just wanted to take a moment to say that to everyone.
Yes. So happy lunar imbolc. So If you don't know, you don't have to answer. Is there a difference between the dark moon and a new moon?
It's just specific to
Holidays.
yeah. So I'm not going to get into detail about what the lunar imbolg is, but it has to do with female phases.
Right.
So the dark moon or balsamic moon has to do with female phases, and it's the 8th of the 8 lunar phases of the women's moon.
Well, that's very interesting.
This
is not the same as imbolc.
That is cat.
So you're getting a small taste of the dark moon right now.
Yep. So we have a new moon phase. Oh, there we go.
All right. So let's move on with the rest of the astrology. So the moon is in Aquarius, and it is a new or dark moon today. And we will be talking a little bit more about that once we get to the magic tip of the day. But our attention is turned inward, and this is a time of release and reflection. Being in Aquarius, sorry, hold on. It takes me a minute to think of Aquarius keywords. Thinking of how we are different and kind of releasing our old ways of being, especially if they're not really true to us, or if we've been trying too hard to be same as others in some ways. I hope that makes sense. The Sun and Mercury are also in Aquarius, so these traits are being highlighted of Aquarius, of desire for community, innovation, seeking to strike new paths. This is being highlighted in our outer selves, in our mental state, and internally as well. Uranus and Taurus is still here to encourage us to shake up our habits and to create disruption in our comfort zones, which is necessary at this time. Mars in Sagittarius gives us the drive to seek the possibilities out there and to discover them for ourselves, rather than just accepting what it is we see before us right now. Jupiter, Saturn, and Pluto offer us opportunities and transformation if we can act with independence, which is another strong quality of Aquarius. If we can be self-sufficient and actually solve our problems, it's up to us to be proactive and take the first step. This is a time of shedding away that which has reached its expiration date, and it's really time to let it go. There are always, every time's a good moment to do so, but there's a little extra influence. Venus and Neptune are in Pisces, so we are more connected to our intuition at this time, and our intuitive impressions are rising to consciousness, so this is additional information we have available to us. Mm-hmm. And in our love life and relationships, we are seeking depth and sincerity, but be aware of any fantasy or illusions you have about the one you love. So now let's talk about some aspects.
All right.
So let's see. The moon is squared with Uranus. So there is a strong sense of feeling uncomfortable and perhaps not knowing why, living in discomfort in familiar settings, and internally reflecting how you'd like things to be different and trying to figure out kind of what's going on. And the moon is, well, obviously it's a new moon, so the moon and sun are in conjunct, so. New moons, as I mentioned before, I take them as a great time for releasing, for banishing, and for going deep into yourself and reflecting deeply into the subconscious and your deeper feelings. So that is the astrology for today. So now we will be talking about the numerology for today. Today is a 6th day. The 6th vibration is strongly pointing to you today. It's a day for nurturing yourself. Evaluate yourself, your situation, and your surroundings today. Take the time to correct any issues that you find. If the house needs to be cleaned, then today is the day to do it. Need to go to the store for essentials? Go get it done. Self-care is more than doing nice things for yourself. It's about being responsible for your life. Step back and breathe so you can see the whole picture today. Yes, exactly, especially with the new moon in Aquarius. Seeing the whole picture. Aquarius is a very big picture, looking at the whole community, the whole of things rather than just, well, it kind of has that, and it does look at individuality. So look at you and look at the broader picture in which you exist. It's not so much about other individual people at this time. Other people collectively, and then you as an individual.
Absolutely. So there is the numerology for the day.
All right. So now we have come to our crystal healing for the day. And today we are using fire agate. So I'll be using 2 pieces. One will be in my palm and the other one will be this one.
Sorry. Arash just dive bombed my keyboard.
So I'm going to tell you a little bit about fire agate. Fire agate is a protective and grounding stone with calming energy. It is said to build a protective shield around the body, deflecting ill wishing and harm and reflecting it back to its source. Fire agate is thought to help reduce cravings of all types, including food, and self-destructive thoughts and behaviors, thus being of benefit in the treatment of addictions. It's also believed to instill bravery, courage, and spiritual fortitude. It reduces fear and encourages feelings of security and safety. I find the energy of fire agate is, of course, warm. Given its name, it's a bit obvious. So we are going to work with this crystal today. It will not only instill healing within you, but add a protective element. But we will also still be casting a protection around you at the end of the report. So allow yourself to connect with the energies of this crystal if you would like to receive this healing. I will begin. There are a few areas of focus for this crystal today. The sacral, solar plexus, throat, and mental or third eye chakra, and the corresponding layers of the aura. bird noise outside. It's just too exciting. There might be a squirrel. We could all use a little more enthusiasm for life. Doing a little heart opening to joy and your own vitality. Concludes the crystal healing with fire agate. My cat was just giving me so much joy right now, so I brought a little bit of that into the healing. Some of you, unless you have had cats, you may not know this, but cats make this chirping sound when they're very excited and they're looking at their prey outside. So if you were wondering what that particular sound was, it's a rush in the window chirping at the squirrel or bird.
All right.
So now it is time for our affirmation of the day.
Fantastic.
Please take even if you are moving around, getting ready for your day, please take a few seconds to pause and sit in the healing energy you've just received.
Just gonna take in a little extra joy. Hashtag more cats. Cat at the window. Arish could go. Are those the birds outside? Are they? That is the look of hunting cat. That is the hunting cat. Just want to hashtag more cats at you for a moment here.
Little one. I have the second cat here.
Hashtag more cats.
Thank you, sweetheart.
Oh, the baby.
Oh. Okay. Alright, she's done.
Just a little cat healing to go with all of our healing today. Here we go.
So this affirmation comes from Heal Your Body by Louise Hay. And this affirmation pertains to headaches. Even if you don't suffer from headaches, it's still a good affirmation, and most of us do have one at least at some point in our lives. So this is an affirmation I've worked with a lot because I used to have a lot of problems with it. So I have found it useful. I'm going to say this affirmation to you the first few times so that you can focus on hearing the words and taking them in, and then we'll say them a few times together. I love and approve of myself. I see myself and what I do with eyes of love. I am safe. I love and approve of myself. I see myself and what I do with eyes of love. I am safe. I love and approve of myself. I see myself and what I do with eyes of love. I am safe. And this, before we say it together, this affirmation is kind of one of the ones that clicked for me. So you've got to really think about what it is you're saying. What does it mean to look at yourself and everything you do with the eyes of love rather than judgment and criticism? Mm-hmm. And what does it mean to actually approve of yourself? With that in mind, we're going to say this together 3 times. I love and approve of myself. I see myself and what I do with eyes of love. I am safe. I love and approve of myself. I see myself and what I do with eyes of love. I am safe. I love and approve of myself and what I see myself and what I do with eyes of love. I am safe. So I invite you to take that affirmation for within the day, if you would like. I used to do this one for myself, so I just need to see it a few times, and I had it memorized.
Yeah, this is probably one I could use more.
And the thing about headaches, before continuing on, is that they relate to invalidating the self. There's a few other things too, but that's the main one that always got me in the past. So I relate that in case that's something that resonates with you and for you to consider the next time you have a headache. So now it is time for our magic tip of the day. So today's magic tip pertains to scrying. We're just going to talk very briefly about this, using mirrors especially to scry. This was a topic brought up some time ago, so now it's finally come up in the magic tip. So scrying is using a dark mirror, whether the mirror is black or you're just using it in a darkened room.
What are you doing, crazy?
No, sweetie. Okay.
I've got her. She just wants me. I'm sorry, guys.
Or other dark reflective surface. So we're going to talk about some quick tips about scrying. You can use it to talk to other entities and spirits. You can use it for divination. You can actually use it to speak to your subconscious self and your soul and divine eternal being. And that purpose is what I have used scrying for myself, and it is particularly useful. It lets you directly, consciously communicate with a part of yourself that's not normally accessible. Now, as for what you use for scrying, use things that you don't use in your daily life. So I highly recommend that you do not use your television or your phone screen as a scrying device. If you're in a pinch, I get it. Don't use your bathroom mirror. Have a separate object I mean, at least with your phone, it's easy to clean afterward, and I'll explain that when I get to cleaning, so it's not the end of the world. So don't use stationary objects that you use in your daily life. That's just a tip. The mirror doesn't have to be black. You can use it in a completely blackened room with a single candle flame. That works as well. And it's very important to clean your scrying device after every single use. The reason is that whatever you used as the scrying device becomes an open gateway. I'm sure you can imagine how that might become problematic. Depending on who you are, it can immediately become a problem, or it might take time for things to notice that there's just a floating window in the astral plane that leads into your house or wherever this thing is.
All mirrors go both ways.
So all mirrors, even if it's not literally a mirror, your scrying device goes both ways. Things can talk to you through it. And you generally don't want to encourage open communication. You really should use it deliberately. So you need to cleanse the object every single time. And that's actually the main reason why I suggest you don't use a stationary household object. So even though I don't recommend using your blackened phone screen, at the very least, it is very easy to cleanse. So the way that I used to clean it is to take my mirror outside and allow the direct sunlight to touch the entire face of the mirror for 9 seconds. It doesn't have to be exactly 9, it's just more like an example. The sun is extremely powerful, and it doesn't take very much or very long to cleanse it. Obviously, that's why your phone is not a big deal, because it's small and it would be very easy to carry it outside. Your bathroom mirror, however, is not, for most of the time, is probably not accessible to direct sunlight. You can use other things to cleanse it. I have not used other methods of cleaning a scrying object, so therefore I cannot recommend them to you.
Sunlight is best because you're neutralizing the dark energies that
the blackness of the mirror.
Yeah, that usually kind of come along with using a black mirror or scrying mirror of any kind.
Again, even if it's not literally black, it's a term for what you're doing with it. If you're using water, obviously that's a little easier to handle. Just pour the water out when you're done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, still pools of water are actually some of the best black mirrors you can work with, or scrying mirrors you can work with, because you can recycle them.
Yeah,
they don't build up energy of any kind.
You just pour them out when you're done. You can use clear water, or you can dye it. I know some people dye the water black or a dark color to help with the reflectiveness. Whatever device you use, I just generally recommend like working in a darkened room with a single light source, preferably a candle flame. Not necessary. I mean, if it works for you, your method, do that. These are mostly safety tips.
Safety tips.
Because an open mirror can cause a lot of problems, even if it's not immediately obvious that it's because of your mirror. So if you find you attract a lot of spirits and you don't know where they've come from, despite your best warding efforts, it's because there's a direct entry into your home.
I was going to add to that just one last little note. If you have mirrors in your home, the best thing to do is to create a cleanse for your mirrors and wash them regularly. Do sage water, do lavender water. There's a number of purifying herbs you can use. Rosemary's another one. Please clean your mirrors. All mirrors are two-way doors. If you look at yourself intensely through any mirror in your home, you're using your energy to open that mirror into a window.
So you should cleanse all the mirrors.
You should cleanse all your mirrors, because there's a good chance something is looking back. I know that's like the scariest thing in the world to hear.
Yes, sorry.
If you're highly intuitive and magical, and you spend time staring at yourself emotionally in a mirror, clean it.
Not just admiring yourself in the mirror, that's fine. Like with intense energetic focus or emotional focus. Yes. So when, for example, when I bless our home, I actually, not only do we take extra time to bless and seal our windows and doorways, even doorways inside the house,
Mm-hmm.
but we also take time to bless and seal our bathroom mirror. And I actually took the trouble of sealing and blessing all the electronic screens because the ring.
Because the ring. You're funny.
I was like 7 when I saw that scene. It was not good. And also the tales of Bloody Mary. Sure, it's an urban legend, but it has instilled a healthy fear in me of reflective objects.
And
so laugh at me if you must, but I do not have spirits randomly intruding into my house. That's all I can say.
And just going off of a question, because it is good information, yes. Vinegar is a natural purifier. It is a spiritual purifier. You can use vinegar water to clean your mirrors. That also works.
Vinegar is excellent. All kinds of vinegar.
I actually seal my floors with vinegar.
And you can infuse plants and herbs into your vinegar very easily.
Mm-hmm. And make all kinds of amazing stuff. But we're not going to get into that all day today.
I'm going to take a note. We'll talk about vinegar another day. Well, I don't have a pen, so I'll remember. So, scrying. Yes. Also bringing that up because it is the new moon. The new moon is a great time for scrying. Just do so responsibly.
Scry responsibly.
So, I hope those tips help. Of course, for the very fancy sorcerers out there, the best magic mirror is a disc, or like actually concave, where it's slightly bent disc of obsidian. Please take extremely good, cleanse it ritualistically care of that type of mirror.
I don't know how many people would actually have one of those. I know you want one.
You'd be surprised.
If you have an obsidian mirror, please use with caution. All right.
That's the magic tip for today.
Magic tip of the day. It's time for the card reading of the day.
Yes.
Let's do it.
So I'm doing a collective reading for you all to give you guidance and advice for your day ahead. Some of the reading may resonate for you, or all of it may. Everyone is different. I'm just trying to decide which deck. I tend to use either one of these two each day. I've been having a hard time. I feel the energy shifting between both of them.
Huh. Yeah. Normally I'm able to help you out, but
maybe if I'm not touching them, it'll help.
I guess psychic?
Yeah.
It's like only ever so slightly more notable today. Alright.
So today's card reading comes from the Psychic Tarot Oracle deck. How's everyone doing, by the way?
Great. Everybody's here and enjoying.
Alright, let's see what the cards have to say to us today. Especially on the new moon reading.
New moon reading, everybody.
New moon in Aquarius on lunar in bulk. Oh, very interesting. Very interesting. So we have 2 different messages, but collectively 4 cards. I do like to pick out key phrases out of the booklet that I feel intuitively drawn to read, as well as offering my own interpretation. With oracle decks, they usually come with very thick booklets and long entries for each card. The language of an oracle deck tends to be different than a tarot card. So it's more like a little pep talk under each definition.
1 second.
Hello, Areshka.
And we're sitting down right in front of
dark moon energy. They're preparing for tonight.
Right in front of the
baby.
Sweetheart. Beanie. Can I have my camera? Thank you. My goodness, this Keenie. She has just really wanted to be all up on everything lately.
All right, so this card is a separate thought from everything else, and it's just kind of like a side note. So some of you may not resonate with this. I feel like it's for some specific people out there. This is discontent and boredom. This card signifies a time when you may experience stagnation, discontent, and boredom. Feelings of restlessness and impatience surround you. A relationship, project, or situation isn't moving forward fast enough and could be draining you emotionally and energetically. You're longing for change, and although your one door may be closing, don't focus all your energy on it, as opportunity will still knock. So, actually, I feel like this is like a precursor to the other card. So it's saying that some or all of you are in this state, kind of feeling anxious, because you're eager for that good stuff to start rolling in and for that change to take place. Well, let's see what the rest of the cards have to say. Sorry.
It's okay. Can you like scoot that way into your spot a little bit? There we go. Thank you. I just don't want to block you with the cards.
Right. So the next three kind of go together. Let me find it here.
Excuse me a second.
Sorry, there's a knock on the door, so just making sure it's not our door. The next card is Rejoice in Celebration.
Just need a second.
A time of merriment, celebration, birth, success, and victory is at hand. You're doing what you love most and are pursuing your passion. When you follow your heart and intuition with zeal, there are no limits to what you can achieve. When the energy of excitement and love is present, you can feel it moving within you. Somehow love has a way of showing you that you're connected to something much larger than yourself. The next is solitude. Stop. Your soul is calling out and needs to be honored and heard. The answers you are seeking aren't necessarily found in the outer world. The time has come for you to step back and withdraw from outside commotion. This card is a reminder of how important it is to pause, still the mind, meditate, reflect, reevaluate, and discover the wisdom and answers within the very soul of your being. Schedule some alone time to commune with your soul, and also give the power of spirit the opportunity to reinvigorate you with life force and vitality. And the universe. I'll be bringing this all together in a moment. This card symbolizes completion, triumph, peace, liberation, and fulfillment. Everything you strive for is within your reach. Meet it halfway and grab it. You should now honor and acknowledge the truly wonderful soul that you are, and accept the vital part that you play in the bigger scheme of life. You're free to travel in whatever direction your heart desires. You're connected to everything in the cosmos. This is a reminder that the energy that makes up everything you see around you, the stars in the sky and the universe, also make up you. All right. So there are a few themes here. So I feel this card is talking to some of you discontent and boredom, that feeling discouraged, feeling like you're not moving forward and such. We are in the new moon in Aquarius, so I feel these cards definitely pertain to that. It's reminding you to connect with your excitement and joy and to celebrate something today. Like the numerology was talking about, nurture yourself, feed into yourself. Also be with you, solitude. be with yourself, focus on your individuality. We did talk about scrying. You don't have to use that method, but connect with your deeper self. Go deep within, especially in this dark moon. It's a great time for quiet reflection. And you can connect with, you can connect with your own wisdom and get clarity about where you want to go, how you'd like to move forward, and what it is you need, without other people's expectations and opinions and the influence of the stuff that's around you usually. And the universe card emphasizes that you are an individual, but that you're also part of a greater whole. And this idea is very Aquarian. So this is a great time to not only reflect on yourself and look within, but to reflect on your place in the greater scheme of things and to find that natural joy that comes from being on your rightful path. So this is a great time to reorient yourself and get back on the right track, or just to realign, as it were. So that concludes the card reading for today. If you would like to explore anything that came up for you more deeply, I do offer private readings through my page and website.
Yeah. All right. Fantastic stuff all around. Is it time? Is it my time? Do I need to do it now?
It's time for the question of the day.
Question of the day. This is where all of you get to participate and have a little bit of fun conversation with us. Today's question of the day, as always, is based on the numerology, which I have the pleasure of doing every morning. So my question of the day is, how do you keep your home a haven? How do you keep your home a haven? Today's 6th day was talking about self-care in the sense of being responsible for your well-being. So it led me to this question of keeping the home a sacred place, keeping it a sanctuary, a haven, a space that keeps you safe and comfortable and nurtured. So I'd love to hear from all of you. How do you keep your home a haven? Lysander, how do you keep our home a haven?
Well, regular energy cleansings and blessings, and every so often, like bi-monthly or once a month, I do a depth cleanse and purging of the energy. Usually when I'm home alone. So that's one way I contribute, as well as literally cleaning the house. It's something we can take for granted, but that does make home a lot more pleasant to be and a lot easier to feel comfortable and at ease in it.
Mm-hmm.
Our home is naturally set up to be a haven, and I like the affirmation that, my home is a sanctuary.
Yes.
So, and I kind of project that feeling that this is supposed to be our nest.
Mm-hmm. For those of you that do know me, especially my Kitchen Witch videos and everything, I talk a lot about how, magic is in the intention, and it's in everything we do, not just meditating and putting intention into our homes or clearing our homes. It's every single thing we do within our homes. So from the moment we walked into our home, the way that the furniture is laid out, where our crystals are sitting, the artwork on the walls, every single aspect of our home is a reflection of making it a haven, making it our sanctuary. Our bedroom is plush and pink and has all these warm, rich colors that are very calming and
color theory.
Oh yeah, I'm a big fan of color theory and magic. My kitchen is very bright. It's mostly white, but it's got lots of blues in it, so it keeps me in a very peaceful place when I cook. Our living room has a lot of beautiful shades of natural tones, like tans and browns and greens, which really brings this sense of nature or calmness. And it's everything from the minute I wake up to the time I go to bed. I place more intention, build on that positive energy with everything I do.
We're very attuned to how everything in our home makes us feel. The colors, the amount of space, how things are organized and laid out, and sensing the difference just generally, and also making our cats comfortable. They have needs too. They're not just happy to be. They need perches and high places to feel calm.
Absolutely. So let's hear from everybody else. James says, filling your home with light by keeping the blinds open and letting that daylight in. Absolutely. Letting the sunshine in. I love to do that every day. Sandy says, I have a sacred space, my bedroom/home office. Cards, crystals, Palo Santo, incense, and lots of boundaries. All caps. Boundaries. Absolutely, Sandy. Nilla says, I don't invite people with bad vibes into my home. That is a great way to ensure that your home stays a haven.
Oh, yeah. People will leave stuff behind in your house.
Iris says, my home is my biggest passion. I utilize feng shui and color correspondence to arrange my home in supportive ways. I make my cleaning products with intention and try to align my chores with the corresponding days of the week that support my goals. Fantastic.
There's so much cleaning magic. Like, if you guys have not heard of a floor wash,
it's life-changing.
Read about it.
It's life-changing.
Or watch the sweeping video on the Kitchen Witch page.
I've enchanted my vacuum.
Yes.
My vacuum has a name and a purpose. It is the soul sucker.
Yeah. Don't forget to energetically cleanse and bless your floor and your ceiling. The walls and general space gets a lot of attention. Don't forget about the corners of each room.
Yes. Remember, if you don't pick up and move your furniture from time to time, the miasma or negative energy builds up under your furniture and in those corners.
You don't have to move everything every single time, but you do need to literally move all the objects in your home once in a while to disperse the energy that's built up in them. And if you have a lot of clutter, unfortunately, that means that miasma collects in your home a lot faster than it would otherwise, which means more energetic cleansing, more effort expended in that. And thank you for bringing up being mindful of who you let into your home.
Yeah, it's very important.
You can cast a filter spell over the door, so that when people walk through, it kind of strips them a bit, but it can only help so much. So at the very least, if you have strong spiritual boundaries, any spirits will have to wait outside until they come back out.
Absolutely.
I've heard many stories of people leaving gross spirits in their house. That sucks.
Lots of door filters. Well, thank you everyone for participating and sharing with us. We always appreciate hearing from you. It's been a pleasure as always. But we are going to move into our
announcements.
So
if you enjoyed watching the Morning Metaphysical Report, please like, follow, or subscribe to my Pager channel or the MMR Pager channel, depending where you're watching this. Thank you to all of our wonderful patrons on Patreon. They are on screen, so thank you. It is due to support from viewers like yourself that allow the report to continue and to improve. If you would like to learn more about the Morning Metaphysical Report, our goals, and how you can contribute and become more a part of this community and also receive cool perks in return for your support, please visit patreon.com/Morning Metaphysical Report. This is our new Patreon link. It's the exact same website. We just changed the name of the link. So the old link does not work.
Yep.
Patreon.com/Morning Metaphysical Report. If you like my page or channels, depending on where you are, Lysander Xanthus, Clairvoyant Psychic, then you will also see all the other content I produce, such as my guided meditations, healings, and psychic reading videos. In fact, today we are
doing another
healing. So please tune in.
We are having a healing weekend, ladies and gentlemen. So Please make sure to tune in today, 1 o'clock Mountain Standard Time, for another brilliant healing. We had one yesterday that was unbelievable. I got to sit in the room and everything. It was wonderful. So if you haven't seen that one, make sure to check out Lysander's page and watch that.
That was releasing emotional patterns.
And today we will have another beautiful healing for all of you. Yes. So I think that's it. Are we ready to close this out?
Yes. So now I'm going to cast a protection for all of you, and then we will close by setting an intention for our day. So you don't need to do anything. Just allow yourself to receive this protection, this psychic shielding. Receiving it every day is very important, whether you do it for yourself or you accept mine, so you avoid picking up more negativity, attachments, etc. So your healings actually advance you forward. Alright, so now let's set an intention for our day. You're welcome to set one for yourself or accept my intention for you. Today is bringing us clarity. Today we will discover the depth and power within ourselves. Today is bringing us release of that which no longer serves us, so that we can step forward lighter and ready to advance along our path. Today, may you receive a sign about what your true path is and the true will of your soul and your destiny, so that you can reorient yourself or path in life in accordance with what is part of your highest good, and so that it is easier for you to let the rest fall away. Thank you, thank you, thank you, and be blessed. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you all again soon.
Have a beautiful day, everyone. Blessed be.